It's almost ready. It says
Yes.
up, done.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the No Labels, No Walls Action Monday. And this year, 2022, is all about transformation, transforming yourself, transforming spaces, and going out. And I'm here out in Finland, in the city of Vantaa. As you can see, the snow is falling. We have 50 centimeters of snow here, and it's Valentine's Day. So when it's Valentine's, it's the Friends Day. So I'm so glad to see all of you today to plan the festival for 2022.
Are you doing anything with your other half? No? Or yes?
Yes, I'm nearby my home here in Vantaa. And to celebrate this Valentine's, the Friends meetup, I will light a candle for each participant that joins this call today. So it's very dark here. It's evening here in Finland, but we will create light together today. It's now a little bit over 7 p.m. in the evening.
I want snow. We've got nothing. Oh my God, 50, Jesus.
So, Michael, it's on you now. I will move forward and I will join you shortly.
I love it. Is it cold?
It's pretty cold, yes.
Yes.
Markus, you can start. We are live.
Oh.
Welcome, everybody. Can you hear me, Mary? This is Vantaa calling. It's Valentine's Day, the 14th of February, 2022. And this year, it's all about transformation in No Labels, No Walls community. So we are creating a festival where we are going on the streets to different places to transform these places and you and your friends into something that we can connect with through emotions, through art, theater, live action. And here I am on the streets of Vantaa. There's sleet pouring, and we can meet each other in new ways using the technology and build communities wherever we go. So I'm now here in my local community, meeting my neighbors and lighting a candle for each and everyone here on this No Labels, No Walls call. So it's pretty dark, as you can see here. Snow is falling. So I will create something today together with you. And Michael will lead the way also to interview one after each other, and we can plan what kind of actions we are creating this year's No Labels, No Walls Festival. So thank you, Michael. I will join this call from the streets. Let's transform something.
All right, Emilio, why don't you introduce yourself? Where are you? How is it going?
Ok, allora come le altre volte facciamo due voci.
Yeah, as usual, I will be translating for him.
Ok, allora per chi non ci conosce, Abraxa Teatro è una compagnia di ricerca teatrale che lavora oramai da 40 anni in Italia e in campo internazionale.
For the ones who still don't know us, Abraxa Teatro is a research company in the sector of theater. We are working since more than 40 years in Italy and also abroad.
Ci siamo conosciuti 2 anni fa e siamo stati molto felici di partecipare al festival ad Helsinki, al festival in presenza con il nostro spettacolo di strada.
We met 2 years ago and we have been very happy to join in your festival in Helsinki with our urban theater show.
E volevo ringraziarvi per continuare questa organizzazione, in particolare volevo ringraziare Markus per la candela che accenderà per me come luce di quest'inverno.
I want to thank you for going on with these beautiful initiatives, and in particular I want to thank Markus for the candle he's lighting for us.
Ok, e vorrei adesso ascoltare un po' Michael che introduce, penso, la situazione del festival.
And yeah, now I would like to hear something from Michael about the festival.
Hey, Layla. Hey, thanks, Emilio. Hey, Layla, if you want to say something about yourself, and then we'll get started.
Hi, I'm Lena from England. That's it. What is, Michael, can I ask something?
Sure.
What is this? What is this Zoom about?
We're going to be talking about it right now. So that's great. I'm glad you asked.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Riku's coming in, so we'll get him. But so today what we're going to do is similar to what we did last time. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be kind of talking about our actions that we're going to be taking for the festival coming up, and then also what we're kind of planning for the following year, which will then be obviously in person. So I just kind of want to first just talk a little bit about what we're doing, and then I kind of have some questions to everybody, and I have notes from last time too of what we were thinking about that we were going to create for this year. So Riku, do you want to say something about yourself before we start? You're on mute, Riku. There you go.
Okay.
Hey,
Yeah.
Riku.
Hi, how are you doing, Michael?
I'm good.
Yeah, how about Mary?
I'm good too. You want to say something about yourself?
Yeah, I'm been having medication change, and it has went very well so far, and got a lot of new energy on my soul, and everything's going great.
All right. Fantastic. Well, welcome, Riku. We're excited to have you. So, okay, so let's start. So I'm going to just show, just go through what we're kind of already doing. Last week we're starting, so one of our actions, the theme of the festival and what we kind of talked about is transformation. So transforming spaces, either through art, culture, or wherever else we want to change the spaces around us. So what Strindberg Laboratory is doing, obviously because of COVID and all that stuff, we're gonna be doing an event where, where we're going to a place where the homeless were forcibly removed, and basically going to transform the space of the fence into something else. Yesterday, what we did was, last Wednesday, what we did was we kind of started creating the images that we're going to create, that we're going to then go into Echo Park to do, and we're going to film it, and then that will be one of our events at the festival, and that'll be the transformative act that we're doing. So that being said, Emilio, I know last time, I'm going to pull up our notes 1 second. You were talking about liberty, and one of the things that you guys are working on is a show about liberty. what is there been any more development about that? Just put it in. If there, and then what were you, any other like thoughts about how that can be included in this year's festival? Yeah, so Emilio.
Allora, sviluppi sullo spettacolo ancora non ci sono stati perché inizieremo le prove probabilmente a partire da aprile. Però avrei delle idee che penso che potrebbero anche funzionare. Allora, noi organizzeremo il Festival Internazionale del Teatro Urbano a fine agosto di quest'anno. Scusa, sono partito. Vai.
We don't have any new development about the show itself because we'll start rehearsing in April. But I had some ideas which could work as to how we can join the festival this year.
Okay.
And we will be organizing a festival end of August, the International Festival of Theatre.
Sì, Festival a Roma, ripeto, l'ultima settimana di agosto, e pensavo che una delle serate del festival potremmo trasmetterle in diretta se l'idea funziona e se voi vi potete collegare, oppure la potremmo registrare e mandarla nel periodo del festival.
Yes, this festival will be last week of August in Rome, and I thought we could maybe live broadcast it one evening if it works for you, or we can register our show and then broadcast it during your festival if it's okay for you.
I think whatever works. I think, you know, especially when you're doing something live stream, if it's live, it could be very difficult. So it's just up to you, Emilio, as far as what would be best for your show. I think how we're going to be doing ours is going to be pre-recorded things because then we can edit the film and what we show, but it's up to you.
Allora, sì, va bene, posso pensarci e verificare la proposta che può essere migliore. Io pensavo che un collegamento in diretta, se ci sono altri soggetti di No Labels No Walls che si vogliono collegare in diretta, potrebbe essere una situazione abbastanza particolare.
Yes, I will think about it and see what's the best. I just thought maybe live could be a good chance for some other people who want to join to just join and watch.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, it could, yeah. And, you know, like what we're also thinking is something for everybody to think about. Oh, look, and Markus has now 4 candles in the snow. Amazing, Markus. Representing the light in the darkness.
And the people who have joined the
yes.
meeting.
Yeah, very nice, Markus. What we're kind of doing as well is continuous action. So all of the events that we're doing, Strindberg, and I'll show you, Hilpa's here. I'll show you kind of what we're doing is being, so our preparation and then actions are all going to be, we're detailing it. So let me show you. I'm going to share my screen. Hey, Hilpa. Hey, Neasley. So I'm going to share my screen. So this is what, can everybody see it? This is kind of our action. So it's interactive. It'll have singing, different transformative art and culture events at this place that came from our members. So we just basically started documenting. So what would be great is, Emilio, is, and for everybody, is the things that you guys are creating, you're all creating, document them, and then all of these continuous actions, which are all transformative, then can be part of the festival, as well as whatever you all want to create for the actual festival date. Does that make sense? So it's not like we're doing one festival and then it's over. It's a continuous thing. Amelia, does that make sense? And then post it on the No Labels, No Walls site.
Sounds good, man.
Emilio?
Sì, lo schermo a un certo punto si è bloccato, Michael, e non abbiamo potuto capire tutto quello che hai detto. Se puoi ripetere.
Yeah, while we were talking, we had some problems with the connection and we couldn't hear what you said. So if you kindly could repeat, it would be great.
Oh, sure. Sorry, okay. So what I said is that the idea behind the festival and what we're all creating is that it's not just one day, it's our lives, right? So what Strindberg is doing is everything that we are creating, we're documenting it and sharing it on No Labels, No Walls social media, as well as our own. So that way people can engage with us continuously throughout the year.
And it doesn't have to be just the final product. It can be a documentation of the process, and that might be really interesting for people as well, like how the final product came about, how,
Yeah.
you know, what's the process.
Allora, allora potrebbe esserci la possibilità di fare delle registrazioni durante le prove in modo da mostrare almeno una parte del processo. Il limite, non so se può essere il limite, è che la lingua italiana, insomma.
Yes, we could then register at least part of our rehearsals so people can see it. But the problem, I don't know if it's a problem, could be the Italian language. I don't know if it's a limit.
I don't think so, because I think it's going to be, because your theater obviously, you know, is visual, it's you know, a lot of these different elements to it. So I think people will get something out of it. I don't think it's necessary that they understand the language. We can also, there's also on Facebook, and it translates, or on the social media, generally you have a translator, translated automatically.
Sì, va benissimo. Poi ovviamente il nostro teatro, come ben sai, è molto anche visuale, è molto fatto di immagini, per cui va sicuramente bene. E poi potrebbero esserci dei commenti che spiegano quello che stiamo facendo, e poi si fa vedere la prova, commenti in inglese e poi si fa vedere la prova, insomma.
Yes, as you know, our theater is kind of very visual, rich of images, so it could work, as you said. And also there could be also comments written in English or said in English, and then the rehearsal itself.
Yeah, and I think, and we'll go to Neasley now, but just whatever you're thinking, Emilio, we'll talk about it. Just keep. It's like Medi's saying, the process is so important. So keep sharing the process of the creation for people, to inspire people to join. I think it'd be great. So Emilio, I'm going to go to Neasley, and then we're going to come back to everybody, and then we'll go to Riku after Neasley. Is that okay, Riku? So,
okay, perfetto. Grazie.
Okay, thank
perfect. You. Okay, Neasley.
That's okay.
Oh, Riku. Oh, yeah. Okay, Neasley. I remember last time, I'm pulling up the notes, that you were talking about is what is behind labels and walls. Basically, you're talking about colonialism, but also about whiteness in America, and possibly doing an event that's creating a space of understanding. So did you have any other thoughts about that?
Well, one of the things I started thinking about is like that, trying to figure out the most universal language, and it's music and art. And so how can I pull some artists together to create something? So I have a couple of artists in mind that I'm going to reach out to, because we're not really seeing each other lately. It's really hard reaching people. But I have a few people that I started sort of sending some messages to see if this is something they think they can create something around. I'm not sure if it's going to be I'm looking at spoken word, right? And I am also looking at a couple of artists who can sort of create any kind of art that represents like the oneness of humanity, if that makes sense. Like all of the things that makes us the same. Like once you go beyond the skin tone, right? Because it's a tone. Once you go beyond the skin tone, understanding all the things. So whether it's looking at from the space of emotion, how we all feel love, we all feel pain, we all feel sadness, we all feel depression, sort of like looking for things that really shines the light on our collective humanity, and figuring out a way to display that in an artistic form. Yeah, it's still a jumble thing in my head.
I think it's a fantastic idea. The only thing I would say is that the space that you create, or however you want to create it, you don't necessarily have to, I mean, if the artists say, great, let's do it, they're interested, fantastic, let's, more the merrier. But I know, Neasley, that you can create that space as well. The thing that we've learned is that, because we work with a lot of non-artists. I'm sure you know that, right?
But of course.
But yet we're able to create stuff with them. So I think that all I would just say is that, because the most important thing I think for everybody here is that it's a transformative experience for you. And then it's what you want to also have the audience then transform as well. So that's the only thing I would say, because if other people are doing it, and if you're involved, fantastic, but you know what I mean? It has to start something from you personally. So what do you think about that?
Well, I know, yes, but the reason why I want to sort of bring other people in is number one, the level of things that are on my plate right now.
Sure.
Is borderline insanity.
Right.
And so that's one of the challenge. But the other challenge is, so you see, when I put out the different events that we do with the chat,
yeah,
we could do a chat. So that's one thing we could create and film one of, sort of like record one of those. But I was really kind of thinking on how to really pull it together through music and art. That was sort of my desire. But if that can't come together, then I would just have to back up and redirect.
I think everything you're saying is great. We encourage any help you all need. That's another question, is what do you need from the community? Because maybe the community can then help. But I just want to say is that you don't have to be
I get it. I understand that part.
Yeah, and that's all I'm just making. Just that was just a statement. That's all.
I totally get that.
And but keep going. And if you have questions, please let us know, and it will help. Markus, did you have your hand up?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So greetings from the dark forests of Vantaa. So I'm creating some light into this darkness, and I was thinking, Neasley, that if you could take these conversations to new audiences or to a new environment, that would be great.
Yeah.
So that other people from other parts of the world could see a little bit about your community, or you could explore new communities nearby that you don't usually meet. That would be very good. Thank you.
Oh, that's great, Marcus. Great idea. Yeah, so
I just have a question for Marcus. So what you're saying is that the conversations we're having, we can then still use those conversations and then bring that into, without me having to create a whole new something else.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, that's my idea. So
Okay, that makes life easier for me.
yes.
Thanks, Marcus.
But
And then if you have some connection that you would like sort of like the international audience to participate, then that would be something new, perhaps to something that you're doing locally.
I think those are great, and easily. The only thing I would just add to that is your idea about artists creating a space. I just think we also have to keep in mind that anything visually that's going to be on the internet or stream to get people to engage, if we can, like Marcus, for instance, right now is outside in the snow lighting candles, which is very visually fantastic for people to watch, because he's taking an action and he's creating an environment that's not like just the talking heads, you know. So if that can be part of the design, that would be great, because I think you'll get more engagement. But that would be my only thing. But let's keep going. Riku, you're next. So Riku, you weren't there last time, but I know you were going to be doing a music thing. So what, oh, you were here. Riku, concert virtual around the world, band and artists, musical collaboration, mental health concert. So Riku, what ideas have you developed since our last meeting, and any new thoughts?
Yes, a lot of new thoughts. I was thinking that we could have these auditoriums or other kind of places, stages, and around the world that we could put the stream on and stream around the world, and put the stream around the world and do the concert like that.
So your idea, Riku, is that you would play music and then other people around the world would play music, and
yeah,
guys would learn and share the music together. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So I think to develop it, Riku, is that if you want to, if that's your idea, it'd be great if you create an advertisement for that idea, so you can then start getting people join in.
I just got new PowerPoint software and a lot of new software, and I can do these kind of works for that idea with those softwares.
Great.
And Riku,
and send them to you.
Great. Riku, do you have like specific space or spaces in Helsinki or elsewhere in Finland where you were thinking to transform with the music, or is it like?
We were just talking about that with Markus, and one of the places that we were thinking is Lapinlahti.
All right.
And there's an auditorium that I had once this string concert to 43 countries, and I was performing there. So that could be one place, and Kevin could have his own place in there near New York, and that and others where they happen to be around the world.
Right. That's a fantastic thing. So Riku, next time, if you could have that advertisement together, then we could kind of, start.
Yeah, I can share my screen, and I can put also to you, Michael and Marcus, the files. So
Fantastic.
and email. So it's happening.
Great. Hilpa, I want to get to you, and then we'll go to Kevin, and then. So hi, Hilpa. Nice seeing you.
Hi.
So what we're doing is this year we're gonna it's all about the theme is transformation, and you have a candle now. Marcus has now another candle in the snow for you, Hilpa. But we wanted to see. So the idea is that people are transforming. There's a space, a community, and that could be through sound, art, culture, however you want to transform it. And really about what do you need to transform in your community. And then because it's going to be virtual again this year, it could be a warm up to something then that would be then in person the following year. So it could be kind of like, building towards something, something in person for the next year's festival. So Hilpa, that being said, do you have any transformative ideas that you want to create this year?
Not yet, because right now I have the situation that I am actually discussing with some associations about next May and Hats Against the Stigma. Okay. So there is let's all keep our fingers crossed, but there is a possibility that I might find some, partners. And then when I have nailed that, then I can think about this year and the project more that what do we have to what the No Labels on Walls can offer for May, and then what those connections can offer to No Labels on Walls, and how everything can then fit smoothly together, so that they all the ideas that goes around my project will serve each other nicely. So, and that's still an open question. I'm hoping that this week maybe I will find out that how is this spring and Hats Against the Stigma. But I have thought about it in that context that yes, I want to do something in May with Hats Against the Stigma, and then I want to do something with the No Labels No Walls festival, and so that they all work together. And I have some ideas, some very faint ideas about what could be happening in May, and could also serve the theme, the transformation theme, very well.
Yeah, and one of the things we were talking about with Emilio is that it doesn't necessarily have to be in November, the action. So if so whatever you're going to be building in May can be documented, and that can be then presented in November, as well as whatever you want in November. And it's important that we do that, so that way people get inspired and learn from the process. So so that's just something that you have to keep in mind.
Yeah, and that's also something that I will keep in my mind, that when I think about May, then at the same time I'm thinking about transformation and what's coming in November.
Great, fantastic. Well, it's nice to see you, Hilpa. So glad to have you.
You too.
Oh, Anel, and then Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, and then Anel. Kevin.
Hi there, everybody. First, I would like to clarify with Riku that although I am not in New York, we did.
Can you be a little louder, Kevin? We're just having trouble hearing you.
1, 2, 3. How's that? Oh,
Gotcha.
Too much? Too bright? Better? Yeah, I was about to say, Adam and company actually did a pop-up musical intervention pop-up in New York for a weekend. So chances are that might be a possibility, Riku. So since the last time we met, we actually we tossed around this new idea, and it kind of plays, I don't know, it was kind of in my head, it was borrowing from the Get to Know You game that Mary and Michael sort of made. In our case, it's called Write a Song with Me. And what it is any artist from musical intervention, we sit outside our shop we have this sign. It just says, write a song with me. It could be acted. It could be based on real events. But the idea is meet somebody new. You, as you're writing this song, sort of like putting the ideas together, how that song came about, what the inspiration was based on personal events, an idea, a dream, and then forming that. It wouldn't just be like how the song was written. It would be like parts, like a fraction of just writing, bit of recording, but it'd also be a conversation. It would be like you and me just like creating a song, or Riku and I just, as we're writing a song, what our ideas were, our inspiration was, what the crux of that song is. And at the end of the episode, we'd play the song out. So
Sounds great, Kevin.
that is only just an idea, maybe just like a pitch, but I guarantee you it's probably I think in the grand scheme of things, especially with No Labels, No Walls, I think this would be a good avenue for us.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think the only thing we would ask more so, actually, not so much ask, but more so as much of a narrative, like how we would like line this up, because you don't want to, nobody wants to watch people write or record a song for like 15-30 minutes, although it might, maybe some music heads like myself would be amused or fathom,
I think, like we're saying to everybody, is that it can be done at any time. Well, so what we did, Kevin, with the Getting to Know You game, and one of the things we did was we went to landmarks around Los Angeles. So we went to Hollywood and Highland, we went to Griffith Park, we went to Santa Monica. And so we had all these different iconic locations in Los Angeles, and then we had people getting to know each other. Now, the only difference, and it can be absolutely your inspiration, but what we did was we gave people two options. We said, look, you can be either a VIP or you can be part of a group getting to know each other, and which one do you like better, with no judgment. And a lot of people said, I like being a VIP better. And some people said, I like getting to know you. So what we wanted to make clear, and going back to Neasley, what she said is, what is the reasons why there's labels and walls? Well, there's a lot of good reasons for it. There's nothing wrong with being wealthy. Up to a point. There's, people wanting that, right? There's a real need for that. So all we're kind of getting at is that it can be pre-recorded. However you want to design it, and then make a video about it and what you all learn from it, doing it. But the fantastic thing about your idea, Kevin, is that it can be done anywhere. You could go anywhere in Connecticut and do it. And so you're really branching out to other places, which is fantastic. And it's very visual, so it's very interesting for people watching. So it's a great idea.
And it can be, the concert can be live or however you organize it. Maybe the songs are pre-recorded, and then people kind of see how you create the songs, and then there is the end result.
So it's fantastic idea, Kevin. It's a fantastic idea.
I'll let Adam know you said that. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. Anel, so I have notes. Sorry, Anel. You were talking about in South Africa about how inequality is so prevalent, and you had some broad ideas of what you wanted to do, but you weren't really sure yet what you were thinking. So that being said, was there any more thought to what you were kind of thinking about for your transformative action? And it can be something you're already doing.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. We met as the collective Sounds of the South and discussed what we could do. So what we're thinking of doing is a music intervention in a public transport. Every morning, workers and unemployed people travel, from the suburbs, the townships to the city and back. So what we're thinking of doing is to have an interventions in those platforms, and perform a few songs, and borrowing from the music of the oppressed, theater of the oppressed methodology, and then film that as well, and make that available even for people who want to, I don't know, engage with it at some point later. So that's what we're thinking about. So if we intervene in a, let's say, in a train or a metro, then we would convert that that coach into I don't know, a learning space that is musical, but also like a concept space in a very interactive way.
That's fantastic. And, it's very similar. So what we did, we started doing, we did Theater of the Pressed Ideas, Invisible Theater, which we went to a public park and did a whole scene about forgiveness and what it really takes to forgive people. The first, because that takes, obviously, it's the first step of people coming together. And so we created this whole space where we had like people, somebody being oppressed, someone being the oppressor, and then getting people involved in their solutions. So then we could come up with solutions for, and then the last solution being forgiveness.
And that was invisible theater.
Yeah.
So the audience didn't know it was theater.
That we were acting it. So it's right up, like, it's an amazing idea. We know it, like, we have an idea of what you're thinking. So any help, because I think, number one, I think just like Kevin's idea about going in the street and doing these songs, I think and Marcus's idea about going to Lappi and Riku's idea, I think the more we branch out to public spaces, the more entertaining it's going to be. So Anel, it's a fantastic idea. It's a really great idea.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, really great. Can't wait to see it. Now you inspired us. We wanted to do an invisible theater in a train and subway. So yeah, we were thinking about doing it. So it's an inspiration. So it's great. Okay, great, Anel. Now we're gonna. Oh, Marcus.
Just to comment what Annele says, though, our band CNF is also joining the festival, but we need your help. We have a new album coming out this year. I will put out the song during the year when we are getting them ready. But our idea is to transform our band into something new. So taking these new songs into new plays or to new audiences, but also to get a new angle to our music. And hopefully me and Annel will meet this year in May. So it might happen. So I hope that to happen. So that let's then link this meeting also to No Labels, No Walls Festival. Like we said, that everything that you do can be broadcasted in our own channel, Citizen Network TV. And you can find No Labels, No Walls as an action and a network inside the Citizen Network website. So please join the network to get the latest news also about what is happening in the No Labels, No Walls community. Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus.
Right.
So Layla, last time you were talking, you weren't sure, but I know we have a message that you're talking about maybe doing something with BMix. What I would suggest, unmute yourself, Layla.
Go ahead. Yes.
What I think would be a great idea is before we meet next, meet with Steve, ask him, talk about the theme of transformation, and then come up together with something that you guys want to do that leads to a transformative action. Does that seem okay? And I can help you, Layla. What I'll do is I'll email you some of the questions, and then you can send it off to Steve and then talk about it together. Does that seem okay?
Okay, yes, please.
Okay, very good. Is there anything else, Layla, you want to ask before Okay, no problem. Before
the new Zoom link, is that going to be the same one?
Yes, this is going to be the address
Yeah.
for
Okay.
Factory Mondays. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to make a note that I'm going to email you today. Okay. Thank you, Layla.
Okay.
And now we're going to, oh, sorry. Sorry, 1 second. Unmute yourself, Layla. Unmute yourself. Unmute. Yep. What'd you say?
Are you doing anything for February the 14th?
Well, we'll talk about it after, but we're here and it is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day, Layla. Ah. All right, 1 second. Let me get to Riku and then we'll get to Tom. Riku, you had a question real quick, because I want to get to Tom and then we're almost 10 minutes away.
Yeah, because I have started this street dance learning on the Step Up community, and it's a school, and I could ask from my teacher there if they would like to be part of the festival.
Oh, great.
And maybe we could do some kind of dance move.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Love it.
That could happen simultaneously everywhere in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, let's do it.
All right, Tom. You're now. I know you weren't here last time. I don't have any notes for you. So
I wasn't here last time, but I have joined you before.
Yes, I remember. Good to see you again.
Great to join you again.
Yeah. So this year's festival is going to be virtual. However, the next year's festival will be in person, hopefully, right? So what we're asking people to do is come up with transformative, something that they want to transform in their community, personally, and then what would that action be, and how do you want to transform the audience that interacts with it? Now, you don't have to come up with an answer unless you know it, but what would be something in your community, Tom, that you want to transform?
Okay. I should say where I'm from. My name's Tom Griffiths. I'm a community organizer in Hebden Bridge in Calderdale, which is in Yorkshire, in the centre of England somewhere, on a wet, cold, drizzly day. Okay. If you'd have come along with me at the weekend, it's a pity we didn't ask the event last week. We had a wonderful event on Saturday night and a cold, wet, drizzly evening in Todmorden, which is a town quite near us. And they had a lamplighter festival. And it was okay. The weather didn't spoil it. A large group of people came up from all around, and some travelled some distance to see a handmade parade of different animals, characters, people dressed up in the park. It was wonderful. Owls, dragons, horses, magical horses, of course, all sorts of creatures dressed up and arrayed. And it was a wonderful gathering. It's been postponed for 3 years for various reasons. So it was restarted, and the bleakness of the night didn't stop the enjoyment of it. I mentioned this because there's lots of stuff going on in my area of doing things very artistically, much better than I can. So I'm not going to suddenly come up with a new transformative idea in terms of art and creativity. I hope we can bring that in, but I know other people who can bring it better than me. I'm not quite sure how to do that yet. I'm in conversation with them. The idea I'd like to give to you, all of you, is a justice conversation, which I'm revamping at the minute in Britain, with the support of someone called the Joe Cox Foundation. Outside Britain, you've never heard of Joe Cox Foundation. You don't know who Joe Cox was. But Joe Cox was the MP for Batley and Spem, an MP member of Parliament, who was brutally murdered leading up to the Brexit referendum in 2016. And the foundation tries to bring people together with that. We're working with them. And the theme is justice in care. It's something that I started a few years ago at the time of our last general election in the UK, when no the parties were talking about it, but huge injustices there are in the care system, institutional care and social care. This was pre-COVID we started it, but obviously it's a change of emphasis because of COVID experience. I know people who've lost family and friends because of what happened in residential care homes in the early months of the pandemic. So we're having that conversation. That's going to be our conversation locally and nationally. We'll see where it goes, whether it will be a handful of people coming along with. Previous have meetings of about 20, 25. I hope we can now rev it up a bit and also recognize, because I'm going to attend some meetings this week, European and global, about disability summits and the Independence Living campaign in Europe, to see if other people in Europe, in Citizens Network, but elsewhere, want to join this campaign, to say, we want justice. We want justice for people who are trapped in care homes against their wishes, whether they're disabled people or others. We want justice who are forced to make these choices to go into care because the system of social support isn't adequate. And we want justice on behalf of families too, who are struggling to cope, and they've often been, and the British phrase I've come across a lot is gaslighted by professionals who are talked down and stereotyped. So our campaign for transformative justice is Justice in Care, and we'd be pleased to cooperate with people here. That takes. We're going to have some online meetings, which I will let you know over the next few months. I'd like to look at the artistic basis.
I don't mean to stop you. We have about 3 minutes.
No, finish.
That's okay. I want to just get, so you listed a lot of things that you want to change. You listed justice and care, disability rights. So what we want you to do, Tom.
I want, two things.
Yeah, let me.
I want any individual who comes to our meetings who feels injustice to know that they're coming to a place where they can be supported.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I hope that by gathering evidence over a period of probably a year, as an advocate, we can build together evidence which we can use in a judicial basis in the UK to say this injustice can't continue, can't persist. So it's gathering evidence which can be used in that process. And I'm in touch with various people about that. But I also think individuals can benefit by just saying, at least someone's listening to us, and as well.
So Tom, I just want, that's fantastic. So next time, come up with an idea, and it doesn't have to be culture and art, that you want to display for the festival that could be what the thing that you're looking for. So Nikki had a great idea about how she was talking about with racism in America. And so one of the things that she might be doing is having a space that's, or through art, culture, or through conversation that actually will be what she wants to see. So that's something.
I'll do that.
Great.
That's a great suggestion.
Yeah.
Can I just comment finally? I was going to finish there, but The last time I joined you, I mentioned one of our Parasol team. Parasol is an alliance. It's not an organization of people who want to connect low-level local groups. I mentioned someone called Alison, who's a disabled person in Halifax nearby, who's trying to promote her disability support network and a basketball team. And I think because I remember you showed excellent videos that you did of the gymnastic team in Scandinavia. I can't remember which country. I'm getting them all mixed up now. Scandinavia, I think if it's all the same, it was one of them. I think it was Finnish, actually, from memory.
It was prison.
It was a really good, and I said, let's see if I can do something with her and her group. And I'm in conversation. So I'm having local conversations with people, specific individuals who want to do creative and different things.
Okay.
But I'm also having general national conversations about how can we do injustice, and it's how to marry the two.
That sounds great. So everybody, it's about the time to leave, but what we want to see happen. So what's next, right? We have these meetings every month. We're going to have another meeting next month. So what we want everybody to do is this month, one time, just once, post a thought about your event, what you are like. It could be an image, something that you've created for your event, right, leading up to this event. It could be anything you want, but post it so that way others can see the progress that you are making. Because what we're trying to show is also the process. So it could be, I don't know what the heck I'm doing, but I had this idea about transformative something. Can you help me out?
It can be a to-do list.
It could be
a poem or something that inspires you, but you don't really know yet how you haven't formed your idea fully. So
Why is this important? It's important because I'm sure you all know there's a lot of Facebook groups out there, right? And they're all basically promoting different events, different things. But what I haven't seen yet is a forum that's talking about shared actions that we're creating together. So the more that we post the process, the more that all of these posts that are happening on social media can be about something that we're creating together as opposed to just self-promoting what we're already doing. Does that make sense? So it would be important for that. And it's important that you show what your process is to inspire others. Any questions about that request?
I think
Riku.
Yeah, I just have the most important question. When and which weekday will the festival be?
Marcus, do you want to say anything about that? And then also about our next meeting?
Yes, we are aligning our festival together with a very special event happening in New York, the 3rd and the 4th of November 2022. So we will have a new city in our festival. So Los Angeles, New York, Helsinki, and also we are cooking something up in Berlin, and also a lot of places in UK. This year we are also having workshops coming the 2nd of March called Citizen Fest workshops. So I would like to welcome all of you to these workshops. We are having them in Asia time and in Europe, America time as well. So there we can plan how we can connect our festival to other festivals happening this year, like Festival of Debate, We Are One, Toronto Summer Institute, and more. So we are joining forces with other festivals, with our own events. And like Michael said, please post your process. So next time we will meet in March. The date is 21st, same time. Remember our new Zoom address, bit.ly/Action Mondays.
And does anybody have any final questions at all before we wrap up? No? Well, guys, I can't wait to see what everybody's doing.
One question, because I'm juggling lots of things and I miss stuff. Who do we contact? I do it all the time. So just make sure when I finish my notes here, who do I contact? What's the contact?
Well, I'm gonna put it in the chat, Tom, for you both ways, no problem. Any other questions for anybody?
Okay, that's fine. I've got that one. Yeah.
Okay. And I'll put my email in the chat as well. But I can't.
That's my candle.
We can't wait to see what everybody's doing, and looking forward to all your great actions, and hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
You too.
All right, bye everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's.
Happy Valentine's.